So I've just run my language, if you like, and this is the output that I'm getting. Basically, all I've got is look at it big here, safety status. That was just a header tag in the top of the page. Our current status, and that's waiting for the retrieval from Firebase of the current status of our lights or from our microbit, either it's on or off. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do more kind of, and this is a bit unusual for a moment because it's hard to see the outputs, but we're going to create containers. And so I'm just going to create areas to show on or off status. So doing that, first one I'm going to do here is I'm going to create an overall div. I'm going to give it a class name, status container. Again, look at there's the attribute with the name, value kind of idea, and that's going to allow us to target it here, that status container, overall container, and we close off that div before we forget. So inside here now we're going to have a couple of different things. The first one we're going to have is another div in here, and this one is going to be the div for, so I comment these when we're working in a moment or outside of this, but this is going to be the div if the temperature is on, or sorry, if the lights are on. So if the lights are on, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in ID again in this first one, and ID is equal to status on, and this is what allows us to grab it in Firebase again in this particular area, status on. And we're also going to give a class here, a class, and these classes allow us to kind of target the particular things. And I'm going to call it status. As you'll see, the other button we'll have will also be that, and in here I'm going to have another div. So looks like a lot of div tags here, but this one is going to indicate to us the place for, yeah, we need to style that particular div. I don't know if I need that one, but look, we can come back to it whether we need that or not. I think I've wrote down here, use CSS to style div. Again, you can play around with this. But underneath that, I'm going to put in H2 and I'm going to put in on. All right, very simple there. And we're going to do the same thing again with another. So we want to keep this the main div. We're going to copy this fella again. You'll see why now. I'm just literally going to change this to status off for the ID. I'm going to keep the status here. Now you're going to see why I do that in a while, because I want them all to be the same kind of boxes and I only want to affect them once in CSS. And we're going to change that to off. Again, the CSS is going to be done right at the end, and of course that's all nested inside that original div. So we have our overall div container, which is going to contain an on and an off. And if I run that, you can see it over here. It's just going to look like that for the moment because we're going to have to style it. Have a look here in a moment as well, and we're just going to get on or off. Again, styling that in CSS will be fine later on. So I'll see you in the next video for what to do next.